A very warm welcome along to the Voice of Boxing. In association with Loungers, I have a very, very special guest. Fresh off a terrific win, the win of his career so far last Saturday night in Nottingham, where he became a European champion in triple quick time. Dalton Smith, one of our rising stars, not only in Britain but worldwide. It is a pleasure, Dalton, to have you on the Voice of Boxing. Thank you for making time in what I'm sure is a busy post-fight schedule.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me on. Always good to catch up, and yeah, thank you congratulate on my win. No, I'm happy to be on here.
I knocked on your dressing room door just afterwards and popped my head in. You had a whole load of media all around you. You're very calm and cool in dealing with all of this these days. It was just business as usual, really, wasn't it, Saturday night?
Exactly that. You know, as we say, it's payday for us. You know, we rock up to work, do his job, and yeah, get his paycheck. But I mean, yeah, happy with my performance. You know, it's like you say, it's just another fight. I've had many in my career, so yeah, just keeping it simple.
It was just another fight, but it's for a very prestigious belt. You're topping an opening show of the year, really, on DAZN and for Matchroom. So there is pressure attached to that. You're not in your home city of Sheffield. You're in Nottingham. You've got an opponent in front of you who's challenging for the European title. He's come from France. He's slightly unknown. You've got to do all that preparation and some. Despite what actually happens as the fight progresses, I guess it is what is done in the gym.
Exactly that, and you know, I think we did only have like 7 weeks for the fight. Obviously, it was a quick turnover after Christmas and stuff. Obviously, coming off injury, but yeah, I mean, I had a good camp, prepared well, and you know, like Saturday night, I felt sharp, and you know, I didn't feel like there was any ring rust there. You know, I got in there, felt sharp, felt loose, and I was ready to get the job done.
You look very sharp and you got the job done emphatically. What did you make of Walid Awiza? Just too easy to hit, too upright. You found his openings, his lack of defence, I guess, really quickly.
Well, I think one of his biggest strengths was his guard and defence. So, you know, obviously the footage we'd seen of him, obviously former European champion as well. And, you know, you see from his wins, he breaks fighters down. So you look at the stats, he threw, I think, triple more punches than me around. So I always thought I'd have got to him, but, you know, maybe after the halfway mark, you know, once I started picking him off, breaking his guard down. But I think from the first round, I think I landed a left hook or a right hand. I can't remember which one it was, and I felt like I could hurt him. I felt like he was a little bit cold, so you know, I just applied the pressure early on, and obviously it paid off.
I think he did look cold, but that's nothing to do with you. You've got to get on with it, and you look razor sharp. And I think that power it's always been there, Dalton, to help you at times, and you've obviously really got to be able to punch to a certain level. But I think that's increasing. It looked like it on Saturday night, anyway.
Yeah, I think you know every camp I'm doing now, you know, I feel like I'm adding that little bit more. I feel like I'm coming into my prime. I'm feeling strong, and you know, he said I've always been able to punch. I've always been strong, even from you know being young. But I think where a lot comes from that is just the technique, slowing things down, not rushing things. So yeah, I mean, obviously happy with my performance, and it's just good that I'm improving every fight.
Yeah, Casey Benjamin, Billy Allington, Sam Maxwell, of course, Jose Zepeda was a big one, a big name. You're all just the development is exactly right for you now. What are you, 26? It seems a long time ago since.
Yeah.
Oh, it seems a long time since we were talking in the amateurs and how you were putting the building blocks in place there for what you felt would be a very successful professional career. And it must be developing, bar the odd injury, bar the odd problem that you get as a fighter. It must be just all coming together at the right time.
Yeah, and like you say, it's about setting out little goals, setting out the route you want to go down, and you know, as a fighter, you develop. You know, you don't become a world level operator overnight. It's about you know taking these fights, developing, and I feel like I've done it in a decent speed. And I said from day dot in my career, I wanted to do it the traditional route. win, like the major belts what I've known growing up. So I'm happy the way my career's gone and the way it's developing.
I remember you saying that to me. I remember thinking of Clinton Woods, the sort of British Commonwealth European proper world title, and that sort of shows that you've passed every test really, and that you've got all the accolades, and then you've done it the right way. So I think they say that once you win the world title, the hardest thing is keeping it. So it's giving yourself the best possible chance when you get to the top platform.
Exactly that, and like you say, it's all right winning a world title, but it's even harder to stay there, like you say. So that's why it's about doing things properly, and when the opportunities come, you're ready for them, and you're there to stay, not just to win one world title, but defend it many, many, many times.
You're also getting other education. We see you pop up in the corner for many of your stablemates. Obviously, Steel City Gym and your dad, and it's a tight-knit group. You seem to have a wonderful sort of family or friends unit around you. It's all part of making an elite fighter, isn't it?
Yeah, and like you say, it's just a development, and I think having a good set of lads in the gym, like you say, it's a family affair for us, and we're always there supporting each other, working each other's corners, and I think that's what brings the best out of us fighters. When you've got a good team, you've got a good solid structure around you. That's where you can develop. So obviously the gym's flying at the minute. I'll be there on Friday night for Junaid's fight, his English title. So yeah, I mean the gym's buzzing. We've got some great fighters coming through as well.
You got Junaid Bosson Friday night. Friday week, you got my favourite, the farm boy, Ed Hardy.
Yeah.
It's non-stop. I love looking up and seeing you in the corners, as I said, or just sort of being at events. I think it's really refreshing to see a fighter of your level still coming to support others. Sonny Edwards is very good at that as well. And that's a nice feeling when a gym is buzzing and flowing and you're all working off each other and supporting each other.
Yeah, like you say, and obviously it's the work of my dad and Piers Gudgeon. Obviously, he's got his own fighters, likes of Ed Hardy, and I just feel like each fighter what's in the gym, we can bring something out of each other, and yeah, it's just as long as we keep winning, the gym's doing well. It's going to bring the best out of us.
I was driving home from Nottingham. Pleased to see you, or whatever it was, a minute and a half. No, it was a good night. I was driving home and listening to Tony Bellew on TalkSport, who was reflecting on it and saying that you're not far off now a world championship shot, whether it's the next one or there's one more before. But he thinks you're pretty much there. What do you feel, Dalton? When's the ideal time to strike? Obviously, Eddie Hearn is an incredible promoter. You've got this wonderful team around you. You've got DAZN as a platform. It's all there for you. Personally, how would you sort of, I don't know, break up the rest of the year in terms of ambition?
I think breaking up the year for me is number one, staying active. I've been looking to get out the next end of April time. If it is one more, but for me, I think if we can get the WBC title next, obviously I'm sat at number two in that governing body, and for me it's green and gold all day if I had to pick. So if that opportunity comes, I'll be there, and obviously to hear it from Tony Bellew, he knows his boxing, he's been there himself. So look, if the opportunity comes for the world title next, I'd love that.
10 Stone Brigade, glittering champions. I mean, it's a wonderful division. We had obviously Ricky Hatton back in the day, and I'm sure you looked up to. Would you like that WBC shot? Is there anyone that you fear who holds a belt? I mean, it's a good crop. It's going to be competitive.
It's a massive crop, and there's some big fights to be made. So obviously for me, I love the WBC. So obviously if we can get that opportunity, it's obviously it's the winner for Sandal Martin and Alberto Puello. I think they're in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah,
so
fortnight time.
Yeah, I mean, yep. Obviously, all eyes will be on that one. But look, if the right opportunity comes, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going to turn my attention to Adam Azim, who, of course, is the big domestic rival. There's so much that has been spoken about it. Eddie's had his say, you've had yours. Ben Shalom's had his, Adam's had his. He fights on Saturday night. So, first of all, what do you think ahead of his matchup with Sergey Lipinets, who, of course, we know from being in with the likes of Boots Ennis and Mikey Garcia? And, it could be a case of the right fight at the right time, but a decent opponent.
Yeah, exactly that. And yeah, I think it's a great fight for Adam. One, I think he will win. Great matchmaking, and yeah, I mean, obviously people have talked about the fight and stuff, but I think Adam does come through that. I think he will look good doing it. So look, I wish Adam the best. It's see, as long as he's winning, it's good for me. And yeah, I think he will beat Lipinets at the weekend.
What I like about you is you're both really nice guys. It's easy to respect and relate to the pair of you, and it's sensible talk, Dalton, because really the two of you could make each other's names and also a lot of money down the line. I mean, we're talking a possible rivalry like Froch Groves, I'm sure, like we've got obviously with Eubank and Ben coming up. The British scene needs that. We don't need to have the fight now. You're on your own path. He's on his. But I can see the attraction of that in the next 18 months or so. And maybe you get two or three of them because you're both young men.
Exactly, and you sales fighters. Sometimes you need a good dancing partner, and you're lucky if you get one in your career. So we've got to take advantage of that. And but at the minute, obviously, my vision's elsewhere. Obviously, last year it was I was chasing that European title, so that's why I think the pot got stirred a little bit. But yeah, I mean, obviously, my got aim is to get that world title now, and like you say, if that happens down the line, it's we'll be happy to be there
Oh,
and make a fight.
obviously, you think you're going to beat him, but do you think it's too soon for him at the moment as well?
Yeah, I think so. Whether it's too, I think either way. Obviously, I know I've got Adam's number, but obviously, the more we keep winning, it builds the fight up even more. So yeah, I mean, obviously, whenever the fight happens, it's the same outcome.
Do you think that 2025 is the year that Dalton Smith is crowned world champion?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't look too far in the future, um, but I believe 2025 is a big possibility. I'll be a world champion.
I mean, you're lighting up the British arenas. You're on everyone's lips here. What about what's happening out in Saudi as well? Obviously, Eddie and Frank are working together alongside His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh to make the huge nights. February the 22nd, after these ones we're talking about, is just an absolute monstrous card. And I'm sure you'd love, like Bawatsi and Smith and other Brits that have made their way over there, Daniel Dubois, of course, to be there and to be part of it, because of course it's a business and you need well paying for what you do, but also the center of attention seems to be on Riyadh at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, you see what His Excellency Turkey is doing for boxing now, making big fights happen. And so I think in the past, that's probably what boxing needed. We've got fights later than we wanted them. But obviously, Turkey himself, he's making these fights happen. And obviously, it's a good time to be in boxing to earn money. So as long as we're getting paid well for what we do and everything's right, we'd love to be out there taking those opportunities.
Quick quiz here. I just need one word answers, really. Who do you think with Dubois and Parker?
I think it's. He said one word answers, but I think I need more than that. I believe I've got it down as a 50-50 fight, but I can just see Parker getting caught late on. Daniel, he's a big puncher, Daniel.
And also, let's ask you about Eubank and Ben while we've got you on. It's a big, big fight. Lots of controversy, lots of hype, lots of needle. Who wins that one?
Yeah, same again, but I think it's who it's going to benefit the most, whether it's the weight what Conor Ben's putting on, or if taking that little bit extra weight is going to take out of Chris Eubank. So, I mean, I can see the fight going both ways, but I just think on experience, I'd go with Eubank.
Do we see Tyson Fury back in the ring? And if so, will the Joshua fight happen this year?
I think if he does, the Joshua fight's the only one there. What he should really come back for, but I mean, he's earned his stripes, and if he doesn't, he's had one hell of a career, and he deserves it.
What are you up to this week and next week? What happens after a fight in the sort of rest time, I guess? Do you still tick over? I mean, I know you're going to be ringside for your stable mates, but what does Dalton Smith do in his spare time?
Do you know what? Not much. I'll be obviously I've had a couple of days off. I'm back in the gym tomorrow, but I'll be down there supporting Junaid. Supporting him, ready to pick up his new belt. So yeah, I mean, it's just straight up boxing this week for us.
Good fighter, isn't he?
One hell of a fighter.
Yep, very big prospect to look out for. So we're going to see you again probably end of April, we're looking at, Dalton?
Yeah, hopefully everything goes well. It'd be nice to be back in Sheffield, get a big fight there. But if we can make that world title shot, that'd be the goal.
I want to finish with 3 messages that I want you to give me. The first message to the fans that travel down to see you in Nottingham and the ones that support you in Sheffield and now up and down the country as you're building your name. What does that mean to you? It's your opportunity to sort of say how you feel when you fight.
For me, I wouldn't be able to headline different cities or even, like you said, my own without those. So a big thank you to them. They're the ones who make the night special. I'm able to headline my own shows through their support. So big thank you.
Secondly, I want you to send a message to Adam about Saturday night. What do you hope for? What do you expect? What do you want to see from him?
Wish him all the best. Good luck. I'm going to get the job done.
Short and sweet. And a final one. What's your message to the world champions in the 10-stone brigade at the moment as to what to worry about from the development of the undefeated Dalton Smith?
Thunder's coming. That's all I have to say. Thunder's coming.
Thunder's coming, and 2025's your year.
That's the one. 2025's the year.
Dalton, great speaking to you. Go and relax. Thank you for giving us your time. Much appreciated. Yeah. And if I don't see you Friday night, I'll see you very soon.
Top man. Thank you as always.
Cheers, Dalton.